Do you remember anything about your history? About our history? Of how we got over here to America? How our people got over here to America? Check this out. Check this out. Give me Deuteronomy. God wrote something for us to remember, all right? He wrote a letter for us, and he's letting us know to remember this, all right? Give me Deuteronomy 1:1 so we can show who this passage that we're getting ready to read, who's it written to, all right? It's written to our forefathers, our ancestors, and us. Here we go.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So to all who? Oh, there you go, to all Israel. Now let's put it like this. If I wrote a check to you, what's your name, by the way?
My name's Paula. I call myself already.
Paula? Already? All right. Paula, if I wrote a check to Paula for $50,000, right? And I addressed it to Paula, is it directed to you or is it directed to everybody else? That $50,000 go to you, right? Most High said what? He wrote this to who again?
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So you already said it, to all Israel. Now check this out, 28, and let's just jump straight to the point, 28 and 68. Watch this. You remember our history, how we got over? You don't remember our history, how we got over here. Look, take a look at these signs.
Look, I gotta go clean somebody's house and everything. I love God and everything.
Okay, just 3 minutes. Look at this. You see all this that happened to our people? All this happened to our people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right? Now, if you love God, you're going to listen to your history so we can know how to get to the kingdom. Because God wants to see you in the kingdom. All right? So just listen to your history, what God said really quick.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Well, Egypt means slavery or bondage, all right? According to God's word, it means bondage. He's going to put us into slavery again with what?
With ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
All right.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Have you ever been to the homeland? You don't even know where that is. The homeland. Right. Let me show you where the homeland is really quick. Our homeland, because where we come from, people say we come out of Africa, but the thing is, what part of Africa? What part of Africa? They try to say the motherland is Africa, but what part? You know what I mean? Check this out. Give me all that in Ephesians really quick. Galatians, I'm sorry.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free.
What part of Africa? Jerusalem, right? Go ahead.
Which is above is free, which is the mother of us all.
The motherland. So, yeah, we come from the African land, but that's the part of the land that we come out of, okay? Now, the Most High God said he's going to put us into slavery. Look at these pictures again. These pictures look familiar, don't they? Yeah, he's going to put us into slavery again on ships. We got here from the west coast of Africa on ships. On slave ships, slave cargo ships, okay? Check this out, keep going.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there.
Wait, we shall not see our land. So you've been to Jerusalem? No, none of us has really been to Jerusalem. We haven't been to Jerusalem as a people to step online and be like, this is our territory, this is ours. We haven't been over there to do that, right? So have we seen our land? No. All right, keep going.
And there. Ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So when we got over here to America, what happened? When our ancestors came over here to America, what happened? Look at these pictures again. You see these auction blocks that we're standing on, that our people are standing on? We're being sold. We're being sold. They're saying we got a nigga over here for 500. We got a winch over here for 700. Winch and their children for 800.
I didn't know.
You didn't know.
Thank you for telling me.
But
I didn't know. I wonder why it was like that.
that's why you were wondering why it was like that. But like I said, like we brought out earlier, today is the day you're going to know your history. Most High God said, because we keep breaking his commandments, we are going to go into slavery.
That's right.
We're going to lose our heritage. We're not going to see our homeland anymore. That's what the Most High God said. And all this stuff has come to pass, right? Right. Keep going.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen.
So for bondmen, you see these men over here?
Now they being sold, but I'm reading this right
There you go. How much are they being sold for on this picture over here? You don't, but you see that they're being sold, right? You see cash, right? Cash. We're being sold for money. We're being sold for money.
Do you man if I go do these people to clean their house right quick?
You're gonna go clean their house? Do you know what today is? You said you love God, right? You said you love God.
I got that's my job.
Let me show you what God said though about today. All right, before you even take off, let me show you what God said about today. All right, because today is a very special day to the Most High God. It's a very, very special day. All right, give me that.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8.
Bring it out.
Remember the Sabbath day.
He said, "Remember the Sabbath day." Our ancestors didn't remember the Sabbath day, so that's why we were sold, and we're still having to work for money, right? You're buying supplies so you can go clean somebody's house, right, and make some money, right?
I love God. God, the one that brought me here, he the one that wakes me up, he the one that gives me health and strength. I would
Right, he's the one that's giving you grace right now because
I would never ignore to hear words from God.
it's not just about hearing those, sis. It's about doing. It's about doing. So watch this. You go to church too, but check this out. We'll touch on that, but watch this. We're talking about God's special day because he has a commandment for you, sis. He has a commandment for all the so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans out here. All right, check this out. This message is for you. Listen.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor.
6 days. We have 6 days out of the whole week to work. But
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day.
But the seventh day. Who has a phone with the calendar really quick? If somebody could pull out a phone with the calendar real quick. I want to show her something really quick. Anybody got a phone? Oh, officer, you got that? On the seventh day we shall what?
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
The seventh day is the Sabbath day, which is today. If you start from, you have it set up to where Sunday is it's already, all right. You see that? Yes, Sunday is the beginning of the week, which means what? Saturday is the seventh day. And on the seventh day you shall what?
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work.
We shall not do any work. Most High God wants you to rest on today. You said you love him. He's saying don't do the work. Remember this? This is what happened to us, right? This is what happened to us.
I didn't know if you told me. If I had known, I would have told no, I couldn't do it today.
Sis, right. Right. No. We understand. That's why we're here to teach our people. You didn't know today was the Sabbath. You didn't know that you were making a sin right now.
I got to do this right here.
Right. Okay, I'll put you. It will go against you, but check this out. Check this out though. There is a thing called grace. You didn't know today. Don't cry, sis. Don't cry today. Don't cry. This is good news right here. Give me grace really quick. This is good news right here, sis. All right, check this out. Yeah, give me that really quick. You got it? No, Titus 2:11. Check this out, sis. God has given us grace. But he given us grace not to just sit and keep walking around and talking about, I didn't know. He gave us grace so we can learn something. All right, check this out.
It's the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 11. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men.
God's grace has appeared to all the Israelites on this earth. Right. All right. So today is the day where you're receiving this grace period right now to what? Keep going.
Teaching us,
which is your learning. You just learned today was God. Don't cry, sis. Don't cry. You just learned today was God's Sabbath day. You just learned that you're getting ready to go commit a sin over there. All right. Today is God's Sabbath day, teaching us to what?
Teaching us that denying ungodliness.
It's ungodly when we work on God's Sabbath day. It's an ungodly thing. We gonna get there. Hold on.
ungodliness and worldly lust. We should live soberly,
We should live soberly,
righteously,
righteously,
and godly
and godly.
in this present world.
When we say righteously, righteously means to keep the commandments. That means if God says don't work on the Sabbath day, righteousness is going to be like, I'm not going to work on the Sabbath day. That's what that means. I know you didn't know. That's why we are here. That's why, one more time, give me that in Romans one more time. Romans 13 and 11. Watch this one more time, because you didn't know. But this was written to us right here.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11.
Bring it out.
It was Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Now is the day for you to wake out of your sleep. Now is the day for you to learn who you are, that you are these so-called people on these charts right here, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You are an Israelite. Today you're learning that, and now you're learning what pleases God. And it pleases God for us not to work on the Sabbath.
That's right.
So next Sabbath, which is what? What day is that? You don't remember? Let's recap back. Remember, we have 7 days out of the week. God said on the Sabbath.
I got that loophole that made me forget.
Oh, you got.
Because I got, I love God, but I don't pay nobody money.
No. We're going to keep going up. Matter of fact, who has a pen on them really quick? Who has a pen on him? Sis, don't lose his fire. Write down Saturday is the Sabbath day. Just in case you do happen to read through this flyer, you're going to see this writing right here. Saturday is the Lord's Sabbath day.
I'm going to tell someone else, too. I'm going to tell people stuff. I'm going to tell people that, too, when I get through the house. Because I have never heard that.
Right. You never heard that before. But today is the day that you learn.
I'm telling everyone, and regardless what they think of it and everything, because you never, age ain't number. You never exposed to it.
Right. Now check this out. Before you go, one more thing too, because I saw you when you were crossing the street. I saw you come over here and you were trying to drop it, and then we got some wicked brothers over here trying to honk at you. You know what I mean? God don't like that thing. Let me show you what God says. How we should be, how our sisters should be dressing.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So when I'm saying, when God is saying this, what do you think He's saying? Okay, there is a certain thing. There's a certain things that men wear, and there's a certain things that women wear. Now, if you was to go to the bathroom in one of these public places, on the sign, how would you know which bathroom to go into or which restroom? They got the men and the ladies, and on those signs, the men is wearing what, and the women is wearing what?
Yeah, I wear pants, but you like dresses and pants. I don't know.
So the men wear pants, and the women wears the dresses.
Yes, sir.
God says right here, that's a sin. This is supposed to be, hold on, don't go right here says, you are supposed to be dressed modestly. You got that?
Yes.
All right, check this out. This is what God said. God wants you to hear this, sis. This is why you're here. This is why we saw you doing that.
This is the book of,
Watch this.
this is the book of 1 Timothy,
God.
chapter 2, verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
So, modest apparel. When you look up the definition of modest, it's going to go into not being sexual, dressing sexual, or trying to gain sexual attention. When you were crossing that street, you got your tights on, and then you tried to drop it low, and now you got these men over here. Now they honked at you, sis. They like that thing. But God says, no, don't do that. He says, dress modestly.
He's not going to try to get me. He's going to apologize and I'll apologize.
How are you going to apologize, though?
I don't know. I'll apologize.
Give me that in Ezekiel, what is that? Ezekiel 18:30? Repent. Yeah, give me that Ezekiel 18. Now, it's got to be more than just words, because those are just words to the Most High God. God wants to see some action. Matter of fact, give me that in Samuel really quick. God wants to see action. He wants to see action. He don't want to hear you say, I'm sorry, God. Because there's a lot, you know what, the people who did this to us, the people who put us in these chains and bondage, they're the ones that's sitting there talking about that we're sorry. They call it the apologetics or whatever. They're going around saying they're sorry, but are they really sorry? Are the police really sorry for? Are the police really sorry for shooting our people in the streets and then walking off scot-free? They're not sorry. God says he wants to see your actions. He wants to see your actions. So you just saying sorry to the Most High God, that's not going to cut it, right? Hold on, just check this out.
This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. Talk no more so exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed.
Your actions are going to be weighed. So the Most High God is going to hear your word, and he's going to be like, she ain't for real. She ain't about that. But hold on. What will be for real is when you go home and you put on a modest skirt or a dress. How he's really going to respond is if you say, nah, I'm not going to work today on the Lord's Sabbath day. I'm not going to work on any more Saturdays. But that's the thing. We all feel like that when we first come into the truth of the Most High God. But then when God says our actions are weighed, that means, hey, we're going to stop doing the stuff that made God mad. And what? And we're going to turn and start doing the stuff that makes him, or the stuff that he says for us to do. We're going to start keeping the commandments. So you can go home before you go to work. You can go home and put on that dress. You can put on that skirt. You know what I'm saying? But on top of that, you can just not work at all today on the Lord's day. If you love God.
And I don't say that.
You love God?
Don't you say that.
You love God, sis?
Don't say that.
I remember you saying you love God, right?
Say that, and I love it. That's how I get my health and strength to wake up.
Right,
Like,
right. Right, so he hasn't, go, check this out, sis. Here's another thing. This is what God said.
This is the book of John, chapter 14, verse 15. If ye love me,
If you love God, right? I know we got to touch on it, sis. We got to touch on it because this is a real deal. This is a real deal. Don't you want to come out the ghettos? Don't you want to see our people rise back to the top? Right. If you love him, what?
keep my commandments.
Put on a dress. Put on a skirt. Don't work no more on the Sabbath days. On God's holy day. He said to keep it holy. Sis, he's only talking to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the real children of God, according to his word. You are a beautiful princess, all right, of the Most High God. But God says he wants to see you dressed like a princess. I've never seen a queen or a princess come out in some tight tights, dropping it low in the middle of the streets for everybody to honk at.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.